So yeah, so now that we're live, I'm just gonna do a quick recap of what I just discussed. So for the Baxter Company, we currently have a frozen wage rate of $10.69 an hour for our employees. We have the highest pay for our industry, but we would like to try and lower it. That way we can stay competitive. Some of the things that we want to be able to negotiate is to enable Baxter Company to have full control of the hiring as well as establishing workplace rules. Some of the things I noticed in the reading that we were given is that we would like to have full management control over hiring and firing, but if we are not able to have that, then we would go as far as 50% control. But we have to mandate that the layoffs are not going to be determined by seniority, since some of our best employees are relatively new.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, was there anything extra you kind of wanted to add or you wanted to make sure was discussed for tonight?
No, it's just the main thing from like the reading. It says that they wanted to lower the wage because they were paying too much.
Right. Okay.
And it was costing them more in wages than it was in everything else. So.
Okay. Perfect. So then, do you feel comfortable if I were to call Alex and we can go ahead and start our negotiations?
Sure.
Okay. So then what I will do, if you don't mind, I want to make sure that you'll be able to hear him. So I will have him on speaker on my end, and then that way you can hear him, and I'll be able to stay in contact with you. So if I need to pull aside and discuss something with you, if we could do that, is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So let me go and call him, and I'm going to close my door real quick. Hold on. Okay. You're good. Here, me too. It's okay. All right, so let me call Alex up real quick. Okay.
This is really weird.
It is.
And I'm like trying to like find my way. I'm like, what is going on?
No worries. Yeah, this is kind of confusing a little bit. So we're gonna wing it.
All right.
Hello, this is Samantha. Is this Alex?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
All right. I know I have spoken with Eric for the Baxter Company side, and I was going to see if you were ready to have negotiations.
Yes, sorry.
Oh.
I was just thinking off. I don't need to parse secret what you said there.
Oh, that's okay. Aaron and I are ready to discuss the Baxter management negotiation with Local 190, if you're ready for that.
Oh, we are completely ready for that.
Okay, perfect. So then if that's all right, I'll go ahead and we can get started.
All right, let's do it.
So I know that we currently have been able to establish a very good work relationship with the Local 190 union, and we at Baxter really want to be able to keep that going. I do know that with opening the new plant, there's been quite a bit of changes, as well as with the industry. I know we've encountered some heavy losses for our industry with most of the other competitors either filing bankruptcy or having to sell. So I was going to see if we would be able to discuss a few things for our new contract.
I am all ears and ready to discuss.
Okay.
Completely.
Alrighty, perfect. One of the first things, and I feel it's more of the top issues at this moment that I would like to discuss is the base wage rate. I know it's currently frozen at $10.69 an hour for our employees, and I know that is actually the highest among our industry right now. I was going to see if for our contract, if we might be able to lower it based on the fact that in our last contract, we established a Me Too clause where it ensured that our company was going to be able to keep wages increasing with some of the top competitors in the industry. Well, unfortunately, most of our competitors have closed shop or they've lowered their wages. I was going to see if it would be possible to negotiate a new clause in the Me Too clause to where we would allow wage increases and also reductions to take place. That way we can also remain average in keeping our pays low enough to stay competitive within the industry.
I understand where you're coming from. On the local 190 side of things, we see it as there are companies with lower wages out there. Our company is definitely above average. But we are also performing above average. We're not going under. We're actually hitting all our benchmarks. We're not losing money in any way from my perspective. And I think the employees should be discouraged, in a sense, by lowering their wages for good performances. What we were thinking is, I know right now employees from the old factory are getting paid from an escrow account.
Correct.
And I know that's not cheap. We were willing to completely get rid of the escrow account, eliminate the cost of living and percent raises on a percent basis according to inflation and stuff like that. We were going to get rid of that, but we were thinking rather than lower wages, we'd get rid of those and remove wage freezes for the next contract period. Leave it at the current $10.69 an hour, possibly with a 1% wage increase per year for the contract life. So that would be around 11 cents per year raise for the employees who hang around, who are already trained and do not need to be retrained. I think this would, we think this would help to raise the spirits of the employees. I know they like to work hard, they take pride in their work. But we're afraid of having a wage decrease while the company is doing so well. Kind of take down the spirits of our employees. And we think, well, along with that, we understand that $10.69 an hour is very generous wage on Baxter's end. And we were thinking the new employees coming in without experience would get paid 50 to 60% of that wage until they were trained up to the level of a level employee over the course of 2 to 4 years until they're fully trained. So new employees would not be getting paid the full $10.69, but closer to $5 or $6 per hour.
Okay, that's an actually really interesting idea that Baxter Corporation had not initially thought of. So then what you're proposing, and I just want to make sure I understand, is that for the more senior members of our employees, you would want them to be able to earn a 1% increase each year for basically just kind of like an offset of having to keep up entirely with the cost of living increases, but still kind of giving them enough incentive to keep their performance going, which would estimate to about 11 cents a year in a pay raise, bringing their pay to $10.80, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then for the less experienced.
Like after 2 years, the 1% would then build on the 10.80 per year, which would be technically 10.8 cents of a raise the continuing year. And then we can completely eliminate the escrow account, which I know is which I believe is probably a hefty account on your books. We can eliminate that, get rid of that, so that all employees are, treated equally. New employees aren't getting necessarily thrown under the bus, being told we'll never reach the escrow account no matter how long they work there. Just eliminate it, and employees that do stick around would get 1% raise per year over the life of this contract.
Okay. I actually don't have an issue with that. One of the things I want to discuss real quick with my partner, may I have a moment to go and discuss it with her?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm going to put you on mute for just a moment. Give me 1 second, and then I'll be able to resume with you in a moment.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alex. Okay. So what they're proposing real quick is that instead of lowering the wages for the more senior employees, they're talking about going and making it to where instead of we do the cost of living increases for the rest of the contract, our employees, more senior employees, will get a 1% increase each year to their wages, which estimates to about 11 cents, which would bring their wages to $10.80. However, they're also willing to waive the full pay for more new employees, where they could earn roughly between $5.35 to up to $6 to $7. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that would be okay?
Sounds interesting. It's definitely better than just like
Paying out the escrow accounts, yeah.
Instead of
Okay, so
everybody, they all, for the newer employees, that makes sense to start them out at a lower pay, and then as they get more experience, they can, bump up pay grades, I guess.
okay, so then we'll go with that part.
And the 1% increase in cost of living, that's fair.
That's really good. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So I'll go and let him know. Hey, Alex, we are back, and I discussed with my partner over here, and we do agree that being able to close out the escrow account and being able to exchange that for the 1% increase for the general wages of more senior members, that is acceptable. And we also thought that it was fair in being able to pay the newer employees a little bit less. But I do want to make sure I understand, or we can come to a solid agreement on the actual cost for the new employees, or the actual pay. What starting wage would you have our new employees earn?
Well, 60% of 1069. Does that seem fair?
60%? Hold on, let me go and check that. So you want them to be paid $6.41 an hour?
I think that seems fair for a new trained employee until they're up to par with our experienced employees over the course of essentially 2 to 4 years, depending on how eager and willing they are to learn the new ways and become a part of the team.
Okay. All right, that is acceptable. We are good on that. So then in doing that, we would definitely be able to not only keep our pay competitive, but also kind of help lower our costs a bit. So that's definitely a massive thing that we were able to go and work through. I did have a few other things I wanted to discuss with you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I know one of the things that we've been doing with the new plant is, unfortunately, a lot of our employees are not doing the same thing over and over again. So by that, we have employees being trained in multiple positions and being able to complete multiple tasks at one station. So I was going to see if, with this complexity that we have in our new plant, if we would be able to determine or maintain our flexibility, because everything's constantly changing and it's not just set. If we would be able to have management maintain full flexibility and control over the work rules. Do you feel this would be something you would be able to work with?
Is it alright if I talk to Matt and James real quick about this?
Of course, go ahead.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay.
It's just going okay.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I'm like, yeah, hopefully the rest goes smoothly.
Rolling, and it's the funny thing is that I was gonna say around 650, and he's 21. I'm like, all right, let's go. We'll take it.
Heck yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, I'm trying to think, how do we get their base pay lower? But with the new employees, I really like that idea.
Yeah.
Because I know all the others were not going to go that low.
Yes, we find that reasonable and something we can do.
Okay, so then we would be able to maintain full control and flexibility over the work rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then another thing I would like to discuss, and this is the one of the last pieces, or I think the last actually, is we wanted to see if management would be able to have full control over the hiring and firing process. And by that, what we mean is we know that it's kind of crazy having a 52-week layoff notice requirement in the current contract, but we do want to be able to have some grace period with the layoff notices, as well as have some percentages of the new positions filled from the layoff list. So for instance, if we were needing to let go of some people, we would want to be able to give them a better opportunity at being able to be rehired with our company. However, with that, it's really hard in being able to maintain our flexibility if we are not in control of hiring some of the people that we feel will be more easier to train in the new policies and procedures with our plant. We are willing to give some control in layoffs. We don't want to let people go, but if that is something that you feel you need to have a part of in control, we are understanding of that, but we would at least like to have full control of hiring decisions.
So if someone's let go, they might not necessarily have first opportunity to be hired. If you are looking to hire someone again, you might go beyond them and find someone else.
No, they would have the first chance first, and if they were laid off. But yeah, that's only if they're being laid off. They would have the first chance at being rehired. But we wanted to see if we could change the 52-week notice to maybe 3 months notice instead, so about 90 days.
It doesn't. My team, I don't think would like that.
Okay, so that is, I can understand that, because I know in the past we've been able to maintain basic employee job and safety. So we wanted to be able to kind of help keep their security. But we do know that things are changing, and we want to make sure that we're able to stay on top of being able to keep some of the best. We're not looking at getting rid of any of our senior employees. Most of them have been around forever. They know how we are. We want to be able to keep working with them, and they're great. So then if we cannot do the 52-week layoff requirement to change that to 90 days, would we at least have full control in hiring decisions?
In hiring decisions, what do you mean by that?
Okay. So by that, if we go and we hire because we have openings, or if we need to increase the productivity for what we're being able to produce in our plants, if we need to be able to hire in more help, we want to be able to have full control of who we are hiring into our stores. And by that, say if in a previous time other employees were laid off, they would still be able to go and try and rehire with us, but ultimately that decision would be with the Baxter company as to who is being hired and who is not. They would still have first chances at being considered for rehire, but it's ultimately our decision on who we hire. Does that kind of make a bit more sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
But with that's with the 52-week layoff period, right? Or layoff notice.
Yes. So if we were to go and get ready to fire some employees, unfortunately, we would give them 52-week notice that they are going to be put on, or that they're going to be losing their position at our company. So they do have plenty of time to try and find something else if they would like to. And if at any point in time we go and we have more hiring available, they will obviously have the first opportunity to come and apply for a position that they've had, or for a position that they feel they might be better suited for. But they have to meet the qualifications that will be stated in the hiring application process, as well as Baxter Company needs to make sure that we feel they're competent and qualified in being able to perform the duties that is expected of them for their hiring position or the position they're applying for.
When you're hiring, how would they know of available positions? Would you reach out to them, or would this be just apply if you'd like, and the people, if they know about it, that were laid off, can come back and sort of get first dibs, per se? But is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah. So when we would go and we have positions that need to be filled, we will obviously let them know first. And then that way, right. And then if they choose to ignore or if they dismiss it, then we'll go out and we will have a more open scaled hiring. I'm sorry?
I guess let's put it this way. I understand your contact everyone that knows how being hired for a position.
Mm-hmm.
But are they being considered any more heavily than anyone else, or are you just letting them know, oh, we're letting you know about the position first, but at the end of the day, they're not, whether they're hired or not, doesn't have any bearing on whether they work there or not. I want to know that they'll be considered or have a better percent chance, or whatever it may be, to be hired than some Joe Schmo off the street.
Right.
That just outreach to them is not the way they, get around it.
Oh, no, and I completely understand where you're coming from. That's why I would certainly go and place heavy consideration on how they were as an employee and what accomplishments they were while they were working for the Baxter Company. And if they were phenomenal employees, they will definitely have a much greater chance, if not definitely be able to most likely just there. A lot of it depends on their contributions as an employee in making sure that they're there when they're needed to be there. They're not constantly breaking our company rules or policies by, say, talking on a cell phone when they're supposed to be working the conveyor belts. And so a lot of it just depends on their own past records of working with the company. So if they've been phenomenal employees, they'll most likely have the position because we already know that they're competent, they're skilled, they know what they're doing, and at that point, it's just they have the first opportunity to get the job, and based on their previous records, if they've been great, we'll offer them the job right then and there. But on that same note, if they've been continuously late or they have a lot of bad information.
They kind of have strikes on their record, and it should be their first hire.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Okay. So then with that, I don't think there's anything more I need to discuss. Hold on, let me check real quick. I'll be right back. Erin, with this and with what we've discussed, is there anything you feel we need to talk about, or have I missed anything?
So what was he saying? Because it was hard to hear him.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That was okay.
Yeah, he's giving us full control over hiring.
Okay,
They
good.
will not get rid of the 52-week layoff notice requirement. They are going to keep that. However, we have full control over hiring, and we have full control, or at least 50% in layoffs. But if we go and we have a hiring opportunity where we're getting in new employees, our previous employees that we gave the 52-week notice, we have to go and reach out to them first, let them know about job openings, and then once they apply, if they did well, we can hire them based on their previous records, like if they were a great employee or not. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
And the 52-week, they won't budge on?
No, they won't budge on the 52-week.
That just seems insanely long.
Yeah. Well, that's basically a year notice.
Yeah, I read that and went, what in the world?
Yeah, it guarantees them job security, but with that, we're able to determine who we can hire.
Yeah.
So it does kind of help us a lot.
Okay.
So are you okay with that?
I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll go and let Alex know, and I guess that will conclude our negotiations.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Alex, are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I have discussed the terms of our negotiation with Aaron, and we are in full agreement.
I love to hear that.
Yay, me too. By any chance, was there anything that you feel you needed to negotiate on, or are we going to consider our negotiations concluded?
I think our negotiations are pretty solid.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to get out of my Baxter. Yeah, okay, so I'm out of my Baxter personality right there, so I'm back to being my happy little self.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back to Sam. I'm sorry, guys. I know I was totally cool as a Baxter person, but...
You were. You did.
And I figured since we have you on the line real quick, I know Aaron is still here with me. Was there anything we needed to discuss further for tonight, or did we need to talk about doohickeys or anything like that?
I don't know. I've got James and Matthew here too. I think they can you guys hear that? Do you guys have any questions for Samantha or Aaron on doohickey thing? Oh, are you talking about the next one?
What did he say?
I don't know. He's discussing it with the boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're conceding that we're awesome.
Cool. You were.
Thank you. You were a big help.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You have that link, Matt? Okay. All right.
Sorry, I'm having way too much fun making silly faces.
You can see you, so it's fun.
I think James and Matt are all set with doohickey questions for now. They said they were looking at the Google Hangouts, or not Google Hangouts, the Google Doc, and put up their stuff or just doing so.
Okay. So then for this week, you are the actual week discussion leader, correct, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I did have a quick question. I know you and I were supposed to record our Google Hangouts where we're discussing with our team the negotiation points. Do you want me to email you my YouTube link? And then are you going to incorporate that in like your own little write-up, or am I supposed to do my own write-up? Like, how do we do that?
I don't think, if you want to email me the link, I can post them both so that we have both the links.
Okay.
But I know from the beginning of the semester she said there only needs to be a discussion leader. You only need to be a discussion leader twice. And you've been a discussion leader twice, correct?
Yeah. Next week will be my third time.
So I don't think you need to technically submit anything. You only need to submit your stuff for it, and I'll submit. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Then I will definitely go and email you this link for our video, and of course you'll see my crazy faces at the end. I'm sorry, but so so yeah. But if it turns out you do need me to write something for the Baxter side, let me know, and I will be able to send that to you. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you send me the link, then I'll post my link and I'll post your link.
Sweet.
Yeah, both of them.
Thank you. And I think that's about it for this week, except for me being discussion leader next week. And I'll send you guys the invite link at around probably like 7:15.
Okay.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then, I mean, at that point, we can discuss more doohickey things if we need to.
Yeah. Alrighty. It sounds like a deal.
Alright.
Alrighty. So then we will see you all next week.
Right.
Have a great Thanksgiving to you guys.
Oh, thank you. And please tell them we wish that you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving as well.
I will let them know.
Perfect. I do have a request for you, Alex. Real quick. One of our last meetings, you said that you were working on being able to give us pizza. How's that coming along?
Still in the process of working on that.
Oh, still in the process. Okay, so then I will give you until next week. Next Wednesday, I expect to hear an update on that process, okay? All right, that is awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your contributions to science and pizza. It is deeply appreciated.
I'll be there.
I'll look for an email from you, Samantha.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, so that's about it. You have a great evening and a very happy Thanksgiving. Same with the rest of the boys. And we will talk to you next week.
Good.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. So I'm gonna hang up now, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, okay. So I hung up with Alex.
Cool.
Sorry for my random dancing in the background. I should have warned you. I had a bunch of sugar at work. Someone brought edible cookie dough, so I was eating all of them. Like, yes!
Yeah, all right. Sounds
So now I'm like wired for sound. But if that's all good, we are all good to go on our end. I will go and submit the link to Alex, and then he'll just upload it.
cool.
Sweet. So then I will see you next Wednesday.
Cool. I shall be here. I hope.
Yay! Thank you, Erin. I appreciate it. You are awesome.
Thank you. So.
Alrighty. Oh, hold on. I'm going to turn this off real quick.